1987, Abu Dhabi. The Iran-Iraq war is active just beyond the horizon, turning the Strait of Hormuz into a graveyard for commercial shipping. Two identical cargo ships are docked, ready to depart. They are sister ships, sharing the same design and the same company. But as the order comes to cast off, the Maersk Sanang, the ship carrying a young third officer, suffers a sudden engine failure. They are stuck at the pier while the sister ship sails out on schedule. 30 minutes later, the radio reports the sister ship has been bombed in the kill zone. There were no survivors. For the officer, the frustration of the mechanical failure turned into a realization. The delay was the only reason he was still breathing. The perceived control he had over his life was gone in an instant. Once the engines are fixed, the Maersk Sanang moves out. They enter the darkness of the strait. On the bridge, the captain stands with his officer. He is holding a Bible. He says, "If anything happens, call me," then walks away to his cabin. At 22, the young sailor is left to navigate a massive vessel through a war zone. Standing in the dark, he realizes his ambition to become a captain offers no comfort. He knows the theology of Islam, but in this moment, those facts are stagnant in his head. They do not reach his heart, which is paralyzed by the fear of the water. There was a massive disconnect between what he knew and what he felt. The religious knowledge he had memorized failed to provide a sense of safety as he faced his own mortality. He began searching for an anchor. He found it in a borrowed copy of Al-Ghazali's Ihya Ulumuddin. The text suggested that worship is an empty physical exercise until the heart is awakened. When his contract ended, he traveled to Indonesia, searching for a living spiritual guide, leading him to a 12-hour train ride across Java, heading toward the village of Suralaya. He met a teacher named Abba Anom. The teacher didn't lecture him on complex theory. He introduced him to talkin. This is the heart-to-heart transmission of spiritual anchoring, a way to embed the awareness of God deep into the chest so it remains stable during a crisis. That meeting transformed the sailor's experience from an intellectual pursuit into a lived presence. Over the next 40 years, he codified this journey into a reproducible path. The Circulum Madrasah I AM is the blueprint of that journey. It is structured around the traditional Islamic pillars of the Hadith of Jibril. The first pillar is Iman, or faith, Illahi, the mind acknowledging the source. The second is Ihsan, or presence, Anta, bringing awareness into the heart. The framework concludes with Islam, submission, Maqsudi, aligning physical actions toward the divine. To maintain this connection, students use Zikir Jahar, vocal remembrance, and Zikir Khafi, silent internal remembrance. These practices work like scrubbing a mirror, clearing away the distractions of the world to reveal the reflection of the light within. This framework shifts religious identity into a physical, lived experience that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. We view life as a straight line ending at death. The circulum presents a different geometry. Inna lillahi wa inna Illahi raji'un. From Allah we come, to Allah we return. Life is a continuous loop back to our origin. Those on this path are called Ikhwan, brothers. They are not followers of a specific personality, but equals walking a shared circular path toward the same source. When life is viewed as a circle, the weight of worldly failure changes. Every event, even a setback, is simply a coordinate on the journey home. This path can be accessed through the Amalan Tiga Nafas, or the 3 breaths practice. First breath, acknowledge the source, Illahi. Second breath, recognize presence, Anta. Third breath, commit to purpose, Maqsudi. Metaphorically, we are all standing on that dark bridge in the Strait of Hormuz, waiting for the end of our voyage. The Circulum Madrasah I AM ensures that when that final moment arrives, we do not face it as strangers to ourselves. We face it as travelers who have already found the way home.